Hey, what's up? Stubby Keeler here to bring you guys a virtual deck profile. Let's jump right into it. This is budget. This is kind of like a budget variant, so bear with me. I can give you guys options if you want. If you have certain cards, what cards to take out. I'll give you an explanation why. I play this deck. Let's jump right into it. Three copies of Ash Blossom. Really, I know this is not like the best hand trap this format, but it's decent. It's good against Rogue. It's good against Meta. It's good against everything. It's just a decent hand trap. It's always a standard hand trap you'll see me play in every deck profile. Three copies of Gamma. This is a really good card going first and second. It helps your virtual plays go through. And also, it's just really good for like stopping like powerful cards. And it doesn't just negate the monster; it destroys it as well. So it's really good for that. Two copies of Neon. You don't want to play more than three. This is really good for your late game, good for your early game. You can loop resources that you banish. You can continue to play. This kind of helps you loop resources so you can grind harder. This card's really good. Three copies of Lily. You want to have as many virtual card names that gets the engine started as possible. Three of these cards is really good. Really self-explanatory. Three copies of Lulu. Not really much to say about this. This is the starter. This starts your play. This good for Chuchi. Three copies of Lala. Really good extender. Also can be a starter. Three copies of GG. This keeps you in the game, so you want to see this as much as possible. The one driver, one call by your play. You want your plays to go through. Two copies of teleport. The reason why I cut this down from 3 to 2, it's bricking and it adds like to an extra bricky hand. And this card doesn't even show up most of the times that I need it to, so I bumped it right back down to 2. I don't like this card at 3 because this deck bricks enough and it adds extra bricks. Do testing. I've been seeing this card more than I should, and I haven't been seeing my virtual pieces, so that's why I cut this down to 2. Two copies of good. This deck is more consistency based. If you have prosperities or anything like that, you can play these and you can play prosperities over this. But I like this card because you can like dump. You can jump any of your virtual card spell and traps. You can jump the gate. You can dump Chuche. You can dump Shan Wu for extended scene. This is really good. Paired up with like, say for example, you draw like this. You draw this combo. You draw goods. You draw this, or you draw any one of these cards besides obviously the level 8s. Actually, even if the level 8s, because you can search a monster, you can dump this and you can get a full combo. You can get your play started just because you have something. I made this more a consistency based deck. One copy of Pot of Desires. I have really nothing to say about this. This is just an extra copy of consistency card. Yeah, it hurt going down to 1. I prefer this at 3, but you can play the 2 prosperities, 1 desires if you have those. One copy is an upstart. I'm just trying to add as much consistency as possible to the deck. So it's really self-explanatory right there. 3 copies of I can't speak today. Kaloon. This is like a starter, really good going first and second. You can get your Chuche, you can get you can Kaloon, you can get that to freaking negate a face up problematic monster. It's really good. 3 copies of these. You of the Kaloon. You want to get your play started as much as possible. This card is actually really. This is really much your searcher and your starter of the deck. 3 copies of Imperm. We need something going second. We don't play Chalice in here, but you need something going second, and it's actually not bad going first as well. You can set it. 2 copies of Gate. I feel like you don't have to play. You don't need 3. 3 is too much. 1's too little, and 2 is just like that perfect ground. 1 copy of Shanwu. Let's jump into the extra deck. You play the 1 copy of Coral Dragon. This card is really good for going second. Is decent going first, helps you draw when it's sent from the field to the graveyard. You get an extra draw. Um, 1 Crystal Wing, it's nothing really say, just a monster negate, really good for helping you play through Nib. 1 Croc. The reason why I play this is like if you're going first or second, you can draw into like your side cards and stuff like that. So this is actually not a bad card. The 1 copy of Charge Warrior, really good for going second. You can clear out games by just attacking every monster. The combo that I used to run, you can run Charge Warrior with the Utopia. The Utopia, what's the rank? The rank 6, the one that all monsters on the field becomes like 0. So this is really good. You can clear this out and do an OTK without one Zoken. This is your Crystal Wing setup. Really not much to say about that. One Vecameg Dragon, Vermilion Dragon Mech. Really good for going second. Clearing out the back row. One copy of Juju. This is really good against like cards that destroy your cards. Like you can, if you're playing like against a DPE or like a trap heavy deck, you can just go on this and kind of stall for a little bit. One copy of Shud Shud. This really has nothing much to say. Just a macro on legs. It comes back every turn in the graveyard. It's really not much to say about this card. Really good. One copy of Lady of the Lake Beatrice. You can dump your cards. You can dump Token Collector. It's really good card for siding cards. You can play. You can dump like Banshee. Play a Zombie World package. You can do so much things with this. One M7, really standard card, good for bouncing problematic cards or just helping you get back your resources from the grift. One copy of Zeus, good for clearing boards. Really not much to say about that. One Guy Charger, you can actually use this for game for piercing. It has a piercing effect, and this is just the extra material for Zeus. One copy of the Gossiping Shadow. It's kind of help you play through Nib a little more. Totem Bird, it shows up more than what you think. The fact that this deck doesn't have an Omni negate, if you play, you can play the Baron if you have it, but this is like a budget variant. But you need something to protect you against like spell and traps. This is more like a monster effect and board removal type deck. And the one copy of Fan, really good for going second, clearing out board problematic cards, getting rid of DPE, banish the problem card in the graveyard. Let's jump into the side deck. The two copy of Lancia, good against the Brave package, good against the Mirror Match, good against multiple decks that banish. One copy of Pranker Tops, good go in second. Droll and Lockbird, this format is a whole lot of editing, so you need something to stop your opponent from playing. Two copies in the Bureau. This is a really monster mashy special summoning format. Need something to stop that. Two copies of Token Collector, really good for like the Brave package. You can also always dump this off of not virtual, right? I'm mixing up shit today. You can always dump this off of Beatrice, yeah. Really good against Sword Soul, good against the Adventure package, which is not everywhere, so you need something to combat that. One copy of Duster, back row, two copies of Evenly Matched, also good for like back row and board removal, and the three judgments. Like this deck struggles with like massive board wipes, right? Geki can clear this whole board out and boom, you're done. That's it for the deck profile. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down below. And that's it for the deck profile. This is more of a budget option. If you have the cards that I named and you want to replace them, honestly, you can play Prosperities over these. You don't have to play these, but this is for like the budget virtual player who wants to still play this at like a decent competitive level. I'll stay tuned in the future as well. I'm gonna do versus matches with using these decks, so you guys can get more of an insight on how this deck runs under a budget level. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification. You guys have a wonderful day. Killer out. See ya.